Hi Natani, Mazal Tov. It was wonderful coming to Silver Spring and celebrating with you. I know that for me and Yael, it was such an honor. There was no place I'd rather be than with you, and we're so very proud of you. You laned Shacharis, you laned Mincha, you davened Musaf, you davened Mincha. You made us all very, very proud. We love to see you develop in such an amazing way, and the things that, oh my goodness, your Rebbeim said about you. It made it a real bar mitzvah. And I really tried to think about what all of that meant. You know, it's funny because when people come to an occasion to celebrate, such as my wedding, right? I got to marry Yael, and it reminded people about their own love in their life, right? And about their own goals, about interpersonal relationships and such. But when people come to a bar mitzvah, there's nothing except for ruchnius about the entire day. There's nothing. It's all about how close to Hashem and this relationship that we have with Hashem, because you started on your Bo Bayom the personal the personal responsibility for that relationship that you have with Hashem. And it gave us all pause. It gave us all time to think about what is our relationship with Hashem. I mean, the things that were said were just extraordinary. You never ever stop growing. You never stop wanting and desiring a closer relationship with Hashem. It was beautiful, beautiful to hear. So it got me thinking. And so one of the things there are three things that I basically wanted to try to convey. So one starts off with a story by the Alter Rebbe. Sorry, one of them was the story of the Baal Shem Tov. Before the Baal Shem Tov was really great. So he used to do this thing where he would just go around from village to village, and he would ask people, "How are you doing?" That's it. It's all he wanted to do. He went up to any and every person. "How are you doing? How are you doing?" All for one thing. All for one thing, so that they would say, Baruch Hashem. So that every single time they say Baruch Hashem, they're acknowledging their relationship with Hashem. That was enough to be a source of inspiration. So there's a story of a guy who used to learn. He was learning for 40 years. He would never stop learning. He didn't stop for anything. And the Baal Shem Tov came to him, and he asked him, "How are you doing?" And the guy just ignored him. Just kept learning. He doesn't stop for anyone. All he does, he keeps learning and he davens. He learns and he davens. So the Baal Shem Tov tried again. Nothing. So with a little bit of like nudging and pushing and such, so he gets out of him that when he can take like a moment. He's like, he asks him, how's it going? What's going on? So when that for some reason was very difficult for the man. And the point is that some people were wondering, Baal Shem Tov, why did you go to him and ask him? Why don't you ask him the things that matter to him? He's learning and he's davening. Ask how his learning is going. Ask how his davening is going. So because those are simple, those are obvious things, right? How's my davening? How's my learning? Those are things that we clearly identify with having a relationship with Hashem. I don't need to remind you how's your davening with Hashem. But when it comes to all the mundane things, when it comes to all of the physical things in this life, well, physicality has a whole mask of concealment. And it's very difficult sometimes to recognize that Hashem is really carrying you through. And so it's really important that when you have all the things that you need, when you have all your school supplies, you're going to school, when you have all the things that you need, you got to eat, when you have two fantastic human parents, real people that are right there, you say Baruch Hashem for the parents that I have, Baruch Hashem for the food I have, Baruch Hashem for the school I get to go to, not just for your inspirational feelings and the davening that you have. So my first message is I would like to convey that on becoming bar mitzvah, that we recognize Hashem in everything. And that should only be a model for the extraordinary job that your parents have done, which was echoed by so many people, and they deserve so much credit. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see. The other quick thing that I wanted to say was I didn't know if you knew the word for knees. What do we say? What is knees? What are knees in Hebrew? So knees in Hebrew are called brechim. Brechim, like Baruch, like the word for bless. Brechim. So when we say Baruch Atah Hashem, we bend our knees, right? So what's the whole notion of that bending? So bending our knees is a sign of great humility. Why? Because when you bend your knees, the head has no choice but to go down. The head has no choice but to go down. If you think about the other joints or the other positional skeletal, structural things in our body, they can go both backwards and forwards. So yes, anatomically we do talk about something called knee extension, and we talk about knee flexion, but pretty much when a human being stands straight, there's nowhere for that knee to go except to bend and to flex. Because automatically when you're standing, it's already said that the knee is in an extended position. As such, the knee has nowhere to take the body except for down. Your neck can move, right? But your neck can go up, your neck can go down. So it's very nice when the neck flexes and it brings the head down. So the head, which is the supreme intellect, where everything seems to be logical and make sense, when we come before Hashem, we bend our knees and we bring our head down. We bring our head down from the only place where that is fashioned. But then there's even a deeper point. When Moshe Rabbeinu came to the sneh, to the burning bush, it says Vayipol al panav, that he fell on his face. So in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, this is a way of bowing that people would do. They would fully prostrate themselves, basically lie down on their stomach, boom, fully forward, face down. So we do experience a form of this when it comes on the Yomim Noraim, but for right now, we don't do that. And so we yearn for that moment. And what is that moment? So it's not just lowering our head, but our entire body. So in becoming a bar mitzvah, becoming a ben, a son who is welcoming and accepting the yoke of Torah, it really, really reminded all of us. We were so happy to be there. It reminded all of us about how special our connection is with Hashem, and how there are a lot of things that we feel inside, and there are a lot of things that we want to do, but sometimes we need to recognize fully that relationship that we have with Hashem. And I want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of your simcha, because hopefully that inspiration will carry on, and it will give all of us that renewed sense of a relationship. We really appreciate times like this, because we will be able to really, really grow and push ourselves through this month of Elul to have a fully invested relationship with Hashem, where we don't just lower our head, but hopefully the Zman Geula comes soon, and we have our full body immersed, and we nullify our being entirely. Vayipol al panav. One more thing, because I was thinking also about this number 13, that's when a boy becomes bar mitzvah. So I was thinking about this time of Elul. In this time of Elul has a lot of power to it. We know that the Shem Rachamim, right? Kadosh Baruch Hu brings down a great divine mercy upon Klal Yisrael. There's something called the Yud Gimel Rachamim, the 13 attributes of Rachamim, of mercy, during this time. So it's, I don't know if you want to say it's coincidental, it's haphazard. Certainly nothing in Yiddishkeit is coincidental. The word Elul, if you take the small letters of Elul, it means that we count the Aleph as 1, but we count the Lamed, instead of as 30, we count it as 3. So it's called the small letters. So the small letters of Elul are 1 plus Lamed, which is 3, plus Vav, which is 6, plus Lamed, which is 3. And so with that, we get 13. Elul equals 13. Additionally, we know that during this time, we have Ani Ledodi V'Dodi Li. Everyone likes to say that acronym. So I'm coming to my beloved. I'm making efforts. I'm making an effort to come to Doidi, to come to that one who I love so much, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the first letters of Ani Ledodi, Aleph Lamed, which really is my own day, right? So I'm 31 years old, and I was telling you, it's amazing. We're like reciprocal of one another. I'm 31, you're 13. So when you have the Aleph and the Lamed coming together, So again, it can seem like it's 31, but remember, Lamed is the 12th letter of the alphabet, of the Aleph base. And therefore, Aleph plus Lamed, the first letter plus the 12th letter, make 13. And so we see a hidden mystical meaning within Elul, the name as well, comes to us there. And so, Natani, during this time, during this bar mitzvah, especially in the month of Elul, may we feel HaKadosh Baruch Hu's mercy all around us, and it certainly is helpful when we have an amazing family that surrounds us, especially on the Shabbos that we had together. And you should just be very thankful. Recite Baruch Hashem every single day. Say that and remind others. Be like the Baal Shem Tov. Go around and ask people how they're doing. If not for only to comfort them, but to get them to recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the way that you do, in the way that you clearly demonstrated and that everyone speaks so highly of. May you grow and become a great Adam Gadol and L'chuppah, Torah, Ma'asim Tovim, and bring much nachas to your parents. Miss you. Love you very much.